there. This is Lee McQueen discussing the final, I hope, Judicial Watch deposition. This last person who's been deposed is Patrick Kennedy. He's the State Department's Undersecretary for Management, and Judicial Watch deposed him for information regarding Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin's use of the Clinton email.com system to conduct official government business. And so they also released a transcript, and I'll post a link to Judicial Watch's transcript in the discussion in the description. And according to Judicial Watch, Patrick Kennedy testified that the significance of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email system didn't register with him. He was aware of it, but it just didn't register with him that there was something wrong about it being used. And so Judicial Watch points out that, this is even in spite of the fact that Patrick Kennedy is responsible for management of 3 of the 4 offices charged with ensuring that State Department policies, practices, and procedures are followed. And he had no opinion on whether these policies were violated, except to say that the State Department records management policy does encourage employees to use state.gov addresses for official business. And so that was my understanding when I read a portion of the transcript. What really grabbed my attention, well, okay, before I do that, I'm just going to say that the transcript is 357 total pages. The majority of that is taken with the supporting material, the exhibits, email string that Judicial Watch used to prove to Patrick Kennedy that, yes, you did indeed know for a fact that Hillary Clinton was using private email systems. So that email string is pretty long. The actual question and answer portion between Judicial Watch and Patrick Kennedy is about 101 pages. And then after that, there's a long index and then a very long email string. And then it looks like there might be some repetition in there of the transcript. I didn't read through that very thoroughly, so I'm not really sure. It looks like a second transcript is added in there as part of the supporting document. But one thing I did note that I found truly worrisome is the fact that Patrick Kennedy revealed that he received email from Hillary Clinton on her private email address via her private unsecure email server that was not encrypted or passworded or had a level of security adequate to protect classified information. He received an email from Hillary Clinton while she was Secretary of State regarding the evacuation of American citizens from an embassy in Tripoli. Usually evacuations, if it gets to that point, there's some sort of conflict or threat or some sort of violence that may be occurring or about to occur, which means a dangerous situation. For her to send those details via her private email server, which was unencrypted, which was vulnerable to hacking by enemies of North Americans, by enemies of the state, by enemies of people who might want to harm those Americans. The fact that she sent details of the evacuation via her private email server shows just a lack of consideration for the duties of her job, which is protecting those citizens. The more we learn, the more horrifying the details of this case become. It's how far does the rabbit hole go down? What else? What else are we going to learn about what Hillary Clinton did as Secretary of State? What are we going to learn about the Clinton Foundation? What are we going to learn about this racketeering lawsuit that seems to be going forward after California finishes its vote? The more we learn, the more horrifying a human being she seems to be, and the more ill-prepared, unfit, dangerous threat to our national security, she seems. She is not fit to be the president of this United States. I don't want her to be president of the United States. I don't feel safe with her being the president of the United States. If she's this reckless at the Secretary of State office, what is she going to do as president? How much danger are we going to be in? I mean, if she's going to have a private email server in the White House and have the nuke codes on the private email server, she certainly had evacuation details on a private email server that Christopher and whoever, Russia or China, might have accessed and put those evacuees in danger if someone had known the details of their evacuation. This is what she brings: trouble, mayhem, chaos, destruction. She brought it down to the State Department. She brought it down to Bill Clinton's first presidential administration. She brought that to her campaign against Bernie Sanders and to the Democrat Party, which she successfully split in two. Chaos, mayhem, destruction. That's what she brings. And now she wants to bring that to the White House. No. Absolutely not. No. Hillary Clinton is actually being interviewed by the FBI this Saturday, which is tomorrow from the time of the recording of this video. And this is according to the Daily Caller. Chuck Ross, reporter at the Daily Caller, claims that an unnamed source has informed him that Hillary Clinton is going to meet with the FBI this Saturday to discuss, well, we don't know, but apparently there will be a meeting, and at that meeting there will likely be a discussion. This isn't really corroborated or really proven. It's just he's reporting that this is what's going to occur. Apparently, Hillary Clinton's calendar is clear, and it's a holiday weekend. There's less likely to be a lot of media scrutiny over the course of this meeting. But for the FBI, she is dangerous to national security. We have learned this from not only veteran intelligence professionals for sanity, retired members of all sorts of military and foreign service and domestic intelligence agencies. We've learned that she's reckless. We've learned that she totally disregards the safety of others. She has no consideration for any law or any executive order or any federal code that God or man places before her. She doesn't respect the chain of command. She doesn't respect the hierarchy. The only thing that she respects is money and what it can do for her and how much power and influence she'll have as a result of having that money. She is unfit to be a public servant. She is unfit to be president of this United States. She is unfit.